we're picking all the grapes. I am not the original poster. Originally posted on our Petty Revenge by You Music at Nip. Op note. Hello again everyone. Instead of an actually interesting fun fact, I'm using the mobile spoiler section to say that I've had this one on my radar for months. But I've been too busy to post it. So I hope you guys enjoy. Also, I wanted to make so many grape berry puns in here, but I figured they were low-hanging fruit. TW. Entitlement. Grape heist. Less than. Mood spoiler. Short but sweet. A bit underwhelming. Less than. Original post. We're picking all the grapes by You Music at Nip on November 8, 2022. My parents rent a house on a 1/4 acre of land. The land with rows of grapes is not being rented to my parents, but the landlord lets us pick them and juice them every year. The only access to the grapes is through the land my parents rent. Before my parents moved in, this old lady, Maureen, used to pick the grapes with her family and juice them. As a side note, Maureen has her own grapes, but she likes to use our landlord's grapes too because previous tenants did not. Every fucking year, it's a battle to make Maureen wait to pick grapes so we can pick a share. The landlord has been clear that we get first dibs on the grapes because we're his actual tenants. We always leave her at least a row, one of 4, every year. She tries to be a sneaky lil bitch and get the grapes. But this year was the worst. My mom told Maureen that she was going to pick the grapes this weekend. Well, this weekend came and went without being able to pick grapes. My mom's helper crew got sick. My dad was recovering from major surgery, and she couldn't find the time or energy. Maureen's crotchety old ass calls to inform my mom that she is coming tomorrow to pick all the grapes we didn't. My mom asked her to please wait a few more days as her husband, my dad, has cancer and her helpers were sick. Maureen's response: "That's too bad. You had your chance. My family is coming tomorrow and we are picking the grapes." Of course my poor mom loses it at this point and begins screaming, "Shame on you, Maureen. You call yourself a Christian?" Maureen continues telling her she had her chance. So my mom came in and told me this story. I said, "Absolutely fucking not. We are staying up as late as needed to pick every single grape off the vines. Every single one. We both called as many friends as we could. The troops are being gathered. We now have about 10 people to help us pick the grapes. We will pick every single grape so that when stupid Maureen and her stupid family show up, there will not be one little fruit left on the vine. All-nighter for the grapes." Edit. Grammar. Update. Same post. Later that day. OMG wow, okay, well I love how many of you would help pick grapes. It makes me feel bad about the fact that the update isn't super satisfying. Maureen called my mom last night, an hour or so into picking, to apologize and said we could have all the grapes. My mom, being a much better person than I am, told her she can still have a row or 2 because we didn't need all the grapes. But Maureen kept saying no and that she won't come by at all. Ironically, it almost sounded like she was throwing a fit about it. Like, bitch, we're being nice and still letting you come? So we did pick grapes but not everything. We still hate Maureen. Apparently she's 92 and she believes she will live forever because of her homemade grape juice. So that's one reason she's so crazy about this whole thing. Maybe she will live forever. But that would be unfortunate because she's an asshole. Reminder, I am not the original poster. Calling everybody for help? That's the kind of gossip that travels like wildfire. Only reason Maureen backed down was because her appalling behavior became public. Talk about grapes of wrath. All my homies hate Maureen. On Concord of Grape Law, I deem Maureen a crotchety old turd. This family and the family of the cherry-stealing Mills should get together for pie. Apparently she's 92 and she believes she will live forever because of her homemade grape juice. So that's one reason she's so crazy about this whole thing. Maybe she will live forever. But that would be unfortunate because she's an asshole. The evil ones live the longest. Those are some friends I want more of. Hey, can you come help us pick grapes all day? Quote, nah, sorry man, I've got chores to do. We've doing this to someone who's being a dick. We ride at dawn. Quote, shame on you, Maureen. You call yourself a Christian. Musical notes. She a Chrysostom lady. Musical notes. Maureen is probably making bathtub hooch to keep her alive with all those grapes. Only took an hour for someone to call Maureen and ask why she was trying to take a cancer patient's grapes when she had her own. Shame is one of the biggest motivators. When we were younger and they were still around, my wife's dad and stepmom would plant a huge garden in the backyard. Then go on a most of the summer cross-country motorhome trip. We would go over every couple of days and do various things for them: gather the mail, mow and water the lawn, water the garden, things that have to be kept up on. As thanks, we were allowed to pick stuff as it ripened. Come August one year, we went over to get some corn for a couple nights' dinner. My wife's stepbrother's wife had apparently come in ahead of us and strip harvested every single ear of corn and every ripe vegetable in the garden. Believing you can defy God with grape juice feels even less Christian than the theft. Boy, I sure hope I'm still able to pick grapes at 92. Apparently she's 92 and she believes she will live forever because of her homemade grape juice. So if she doesn't get the grape juice and she dies this year, you're gonna feel guilty. Lol. Ha. This reminds me of one of our neighbors. When my mom was away for a while, they were kind to collect letters and put out a bowl for the outdoor cats. My mom allowed them to gather all the fruit that fell from the tree's apples. These apple trees don't have the tastiest fruits, but they're fine for juice. My mom returned early and caught the neighbor with a broom violently hitting the branches to have more falling. The neighbor sheepishly said something along the lines of she saw some kind of animal and was trying to shoo it away or something XD. She didn't get to house sit again. It's weird how rabid the people are about my mom's garden. She really doesn't have the best fruit or anything special. But each year people that came by once to pick some berries would pester her about it or inform her of the date they planned to come to pick. I seed what you did. Apparently she's 92 and she believes she will live forever because of her homemade grape juice. No, she'll live forever because only the good die young. We moved from the city to a really small hamlet. And boy did that take getting used to. Lol. We had just moved in about 4 days before, and I decided to check out the small diner in town. It was lunchtime and about 3/4 full. When I opened the door, the entire freaking restaurant turned and stared at me. Not hostile or anything, probably just wondering who I was. But it freaked me out. Open mouth smile. In the city, you are lucky when you finally get the waitress's attention. Lol. I had the whole room full. I just smiled, sat down at a table and put the menu in front of my face so I couldn't see them. Lol. My face was so red. So I'm sitting there, waiting to order. And these two farmer types in overalls are having a conversation about my fence. The day before, a section of my board fence fell down. I saw it happen. So I went out and picked it up and leaned it against the other section. Took at the most 10 minutes. I didn't see a soul around. Yet the one guy was giving a play-by-play about it happening. and making fun of the lack of fence building expertise the person we bought the house off of had. Lol. It was pretty funny. We lived in that town for 10 years and had so many good and hilarious memories of it. This is my favorite of all the posts on this sub. It's so innocent compared to the usual stuff.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.